It's arrived, finally. So today we're taking a look at the Pico Calc. This is a machine made by Clockwork, as you can see, that basically takes a Pico and makes it into a handheld computer. I wouldn't go as far as to say pocket because it's quite big, but it is a handheld computer, full QWERTY keyboard, lots of function keys and stuff. And yeah, it uses the Pico as its brain, so you can kind of do very retro computing on this thing. It sort of says, back to basics. You would want to program in things like C or even maybe BASIC and other kind of low-level languages and kind of very retro stuff, but in a really cool package. I've been waiting for this thing for quite a while because if you do know anything about Clockwork Pi, they take a while to ship. They do say that on the website. This took about 2 months from when I ordered to when it arrived. They basically do stuff in batches, so depending on where you end up in the batch depends on whether or not you have to wait a long time, and unfortunately I had to wait a long time. But it's here now, so let's take a look at it. Let's get it open. It is also a kit, so we're going to have to put this thing together, which is also pretty cool. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to see what kind of stuff it can do out of the box. There are plenty of kind of things that the community are already building for this thing as well. And you can also use other Pico compatible boards. So I have a Pico 2 with Wi-Fi, which we could take a look at, but we might do that in a future video. Anyway, I'm really excited for this thing. So let's get this open, let's get it built, and let's check it out. So in the box, pretty nicely packaged in a nice blister pack, you've got a installation assembly guide, which I'm assuming takes you, don't panic, it takes you through all the different steps, and yeah, kind of just step by step how to install this thing and get it working, which is really nice, clear, big diagrams. I like that very much. You've got a sticker here that gives you all the pinouts that are presumably exposed on this board, and you've got some stickers here as well. I guess you could write on them what it has loaded or something. I don't know. Kind of cool though. And then in here, I don't think there's anything yet, just some packaging. Let's get rid of that. And this is our blister pack with the actual system. And I'm guessing, yeah, you can see we've got our Pico in here as well. It comes with an SD card, which I think comes preloaded with some software, all the screws and everything else that you need. So excellent. Let's get all these bits out and take a look at it. So this is the back plate for the casing, and then you've got the main board itself here, which I do like a black PCB, I won't lie. All the buttons on here, which are pretty clicky, quite like that. It takes 2 batteries, these kind of chunkier 18650. I don't know how would you pronounce that, but anyway, those kind of style batteries. It actually only needs 1 to run, but obviously you can have 2 to kind of give you much more battery life. And there's a lot going on this board. You've got the kind of the SD card reader. This is obviously where you'll mount the Pico. You've got an audio volume controller. There are some pinouts on the side there, so you can do kind of hacking, debuggy things. Yeah, quite a lot on here, which it's quite a nice little board, I must admit. And yeah, again, big fan of the black PCB. So we have that. Then over here we have, I think this is the glass for the front of the screen. This is our kind of front housing there. You've got your kind of membraney keyboard, which we'll have to see how nice that is to type on, but nonetheless, it's quite a nice layout, and the keys are pretty big, like it's not too bad. Then in here we have the actual LCD screen itself. We have a little packet of screws, a little Allen key, which has kind of got this sprayed paint on it, gives it a bit of grip. It's kind of nice actually. As far as Allen keys go, that's kind of cool. I like that. The actual Pico itself, which is the Pico H, all kind of set up. on there, an SD card, and some speakers that are very stuck in the blister pack. There they are. And a couple of little speakers in a little packet there as well. All right, so this is everything that you get. Let's get it all together. And there we go. We are all together. Pretty straightforward. It definitely isn't super complex, as you know, as you saw, no like soldering or anything like that required. It kind of all just goes together. I would say, you know, that ribbon cable is a little fiddly if you're new to that sort of thing, but otherwise, yeah, pretty straightforward. And yeah, it's quite it's quite a chunky thing. It's definitely not really pocket, but I do like the clear back that you can kind of see into the internals. The keyboard actually feels pretty good, and it definitely has a nice click to it. So as far as like these membraney type keyboards go, yeah, pretty good actually. I like that. The batteries, I put 2 batteries in, and it definitely adds a lot of weight. It's quite light without them, but it's pretty weighty with them. So it feels good in the hand. It's a good size. Like, it doesn't feel too small to actually use 2 hands on it. As we sort of saw before on the board, you've got some I/O pins, and I guess this sticker could stick on the side here if you wanted to kind of highlight what these pins were. You've got your volume wheel there. Around the top, you've got the USB-C, which charges the batteries, and then the micro USB, which is on the actual board, so that's where you'd flash new firmware to. Then we have an on-off switch. Around this side, we have the SD card, which should be able to come in and out pretty easily. It is kind of, he says, yeah, it does pop in and out. It's kind of got one of those spring-loaded connections. Fortunately, you have to kind of push it beyond the case to get it to click in, so a little fiddly. Definitely need a bit of a nail to get into that. And that's kind of it, really. That is it put together. So let's get some charge in those batteries and let's check it out. All right, so it booted straight up into the Picomite MM Basic environment, which is obviously what was already flashed to that. I should mention that, yeah, we have SD card support, but you don't just boot off the SD card or something. You do have to flash the actual Pico. You can obviously then use the SD card within your applications, and there is people working on like boot selectors and stuff, so that's kind of cool. But I must admit, I know next to no BASIC whatsoever, so let's see if I can find a little program to type up and check this thing out. And then we're going to have a look at some of the other environments that are kind of provided for us. I will just also say that, minus the dog hair, the screen is really quite crisp, good brightness, and the keyboard is also backlit. You can't really see it in this light, but it is. Yeah, you can kind of see it glowing there. So that's kind of cool too if you want any nighttime hacking sessions. Anyway, on with finding some software. Some basic stuff that you can do is some mathematics, so you can use this as a calculator. For example, you could do print and then is that gonna focus? There we go. So you can print 1 divided by 7 and it'll give you the answer, and you could do basic mathematical calculations like that and actually use it as a scientific calculator if you like. And what I've discovered is that basically I know nothing about BASIC. Anyway, let's find out what's actually on this SD card and have a look at that, and then also to see what other things that we could flash onto our Pico. Okay, let's see what is on this SD card then. So we have a couple of files. We have, by the looks of it, some different firmware options that we can flash directly to the Pico, like on the SD card, which is kind of nice, and some other files which I'm guessing get used by some of the software. What we do have a bitmap here. Oh, we have a nice bitmap that kind of shows the GPIO pins and other information. That's kind of interesting. But let's try some of these firmwares then. So we have lots of options here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this folder off the SD card so we can load it onto our Pico. Did notice on the back you can just about see that it does say reset there, and you can just access the pin if you get something to poke it with. I would have probably liked maybe a cutout here or something a little bit easier so you could actually just press it. Maybe we'll 3D print a back case for this because, yeah, that's a little annoying. But nonetheless, let's flash some software on here. So like any other Pico device, yeah, you have to hold down that boot button, which is that little button in there, plug in a micro USB to the actual device, and it will then show up as a disk image, and then you literally just drop in your firmware file, and then that gets flashed to the system. So there's a few here to try. I'm particularly interested in this NES emulator here. We do also have things like Lisp support, which is pretty cool, and an MP3 player as well. So there's some cool stuff going on here, but let's try this emulator. And then it gets flashed, and then it disconnects like that. So back over on the actual machine, if we then turn it on, we have a list of NES files. Now, if I remember correctly from the GitHub, they can only be like certain size games because there's only so much memory that can be loaded here. But if we try and select that, how do we do it? Okay, so apparently this is select and that is start. Yeah, equals a start for some reason. And there we go. Now, okay, so the D-pad is working. We can kind of change that. Again, not sure. Oh, there we go. And yeah, we are playing chess on this thing, which is pretty cool. So obviously we can load other NES games, and yeah, that's just kind of cool. I really like that. I will say that this is really, really fiddly, so I am definitely going to 3D print a different back for this. It's not particularly well designed if you're the kind of person that wants to be able to flash lots of different things often. So that's a shame. But other than that, this is a really cool little device, and I'm very excited to see what we can do with it. I think this video was really more just of an unboxing and general look at it if you're considering getting one yourself. They are currently kind of retailing for $75, and then I think I paid $25 shipping to get it here to the UK from China. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think for the money, it's pretty good quality. I did notice that the bottom of the case was a little bit not locked down, but it seems to have fixed itself. So cool. Okay. Yeah, I just generally I'm really impressed with this thing. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. You know, there's a whole developer community out there for Pico in general, and also already a community kind of building up around this device itself. So I'm really excited to see what kind of comes out of this. I will definitely be doing more videos with this. I think so. I'm going to get back for it, and we're going to try out the slightly more powerful Pico 2 as well and see what other software we can run. But for now, I think we're going to leave it there for today's video. Yeah, a bit of a different one. I hope you've kind of enjoyed looking at some hardware that is a bit different. I know I have. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with this thing. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in another video very, very soon. Bye for now.